I was 6 years old when I first realized my mother's love had conditions, and most of them came with a camera lens. It wasn't a sudden moment, not a slap of truth, but a slow, creeping understanding that grew in the quiet moments when the camera wasn't rolling. Back then, I didn't know what exploitation meant. I only knew that I felt strained when strangers on the street called me by my nickname, Ella Beer, with a fake cheeriness that matched my mother's online persona. I remember one day at the grocery store, a woman leaned in and said, "You're even cuter in real life." My mom beamed. I froze. My real name is Ella Marie Hastings, but online I was Ella Beer, the bubbly, perfectly imperfect daughter of the relatable mom influencer. It started when I was 4. Mom had just lost her job and decided to turn our family chaos into content. At first it was small, clips of me painting, giggling, dancing in my pajamas. It felt fun. She cheered for me. I loved the attention. Hers, not the internet's. But things escalated quickly. Within months, we had lights in the kitchen, a shooting schedule, and brand deals offering us free toys and clothes. My face became a product. By the time I turned 6, my every move was content. Losing a tooth, record it. Crying because I missed Dad, that was a heartfelt moment. My mom had no boundaries. When I had my first tummy ache and vomited all over the bathroom floor, she filmed it. She didn't help me, she narrated. "She's such a trooper," she said to the camera while I lay curled up on the cold tile, tears in my eyes. At school, my classmates started quoting my videos. "Do the face you made when you saw your Christmas bike." One boy mimicked me singing in the bathtub, a video I never even knew existed until it was plastered across my friend's iPad. I stopped trusting my bedroom, or the bathroom, or sleep. Sometimes I would wake up and find her hovering with the camera already recording. "You look so peaceful," she whispered, brushing my hair back. People love these natural moments. Natural? I wasn't allowed to be natural. I started hiding. I'd crawl into the bed when she brought the camera out. I'd hold my hand over my face. I stopped talking as much. I thought if I stayed quiet, she'd get bored. But she didn't. She found ways around me. She filmed without sound and add music. She cut clips together to make it look like I was laughing when I wasn't. Once I asked her to delete a video where I was clearly crying. She patted my cheek and said, "Sweetie, that's one of our top performers." Top performers, like I was a circus act. "Mom," I said one night, "can you just stop filming me for a week?" She stared at me like I had asked her to give up oxygen. "Ella, this is our life. People love us. This pays the bills. Do you want to go back to wearing thrift store shoes?" I was 8 and already responsible for our mortgage. When I complained to my teacher, she said, "Well, it's just modern parenting, honey. Be glad your mom's involved." Involved? She knew my shoe size, favorite cereal, and what my frown looked like in 120 frames per second. But she didn't know how I felt about thunderstorms, or why I stopped drawing, or that I'd started pulling out my own hair from anxiety. It wasn't just that she ignored my pain. It's that she monetized it. Every breakdown was a teachable moment, every tear, an opportunity. I remember sitting at the edge of my bed one night, staring at the blinking red light of the camera she had forgotten to turn off. It sat silently on the dresser, watching, recording. And I realized I didn't have a mother. I had a manager. And I was just the content. Middle school was when everything cracked wide open. At 13, I started noticing how kids looked at me, not like a person, but like a highlight reel. A living, breathing compilation of viral clips. I'd walk through the hallway and hear pieces of my life whispered behind me. "She's the one who had that meltdown over pancakes, right? Did you see Ramon's last upload? The breakup with that boy. Cringe." I hadn't even told my closest friends about the breakup, but Mom had. She filmed my first heartbreak. When Liam, a boy I've been talking to for months, told me over text that he wasn't into internet girls, I cried on the couch for hours. Mom sat beside me and rubbed my back, phone tilted perfectly to catch my tear-streaked face. "Sha, sweetie," she whispered, but never stopped recording. That clip was posted less than 24 hours later. The comments section exploded. "Of teenage drama, she'll be fine. Ella needs to toughen up. I feel bad for her, but this is such good content." The world was dissecting my grief for entertainment. I begged her to take it down. "I'm serious, Mom. I don't want people watching me like that." She rolled her eyes. "Ella, it's part of growing up. You're helping other girls relate." "No, I'm not. You're helping yourself get views." Her expression turned cold. "Watch your tone." It was the first time I realized she saw me as a product, not her daughter. Not a person. Just views, clicks, and engagement. At school, things got worse. A classmate printed a still image from the video, me crying, mouth open, eyes swollen, and taped it to my locker with the words "Cry Baby INFLOUENCER" written across it. I tore it down, but someone else taped another one the next day. I started eating lunch in the nurse's office just to avoid people. At home, I asked for privacy again and again, but there was always another reason to film. It's your first period. It's an important topic. You're trying out for the school play, let's document the process. We need to do a day in the life vlog for the sponsor. When I tried to talk to Dad, who had divorced my mom when I was 7, he sighed. I told her this would happen, but she has full custody. He tried to reason with her. She told him to stop being jealous of our success. I started researching child labor laws on my school Chromebook. I read forums of other kids raised online. Most had no control, no say, no escape. And the money? I never saw a cent. I'm saving it for you, she'd say, all in a trust. But every time a new camera, iPhone, or kitchen renovation appeared, I knew exactly where the money was going. Then one day, something inside me snapped. She had followed me into the bathroom again. Filming another emotional talk about puberty, I slammed the door and screamed, "You don't owe me." Her face turned dark. "Actually," she said, holding up the camera, "I do. Until you're 18, everything you do is mine to manage." I stood there shaking, staring at my reflection. I didn't recognize the girl in the mirror. She looked tired, hollow, like someone who hadn't had a real moment of privacy in her entire life. And suddenly, I realized, if I didn't take back my life soon, there'd be nothing left of me to save. I turned 14 with a ring light in my face and fake friends all around me. Mom had planned a birthday surprise party, but of course, it was sponsored. The decorations were provided by some pastel balloon company, the cake had a giant edible logo on it, and half the girls invited were daughters of other influencer moms she was trying to collaborate with. She made me open gifts on camera. I had to smile at clothes I didn't like, makeup I didn't wear, and a necklace engraved with Ella Beer Forever, as if I had a choice in being that character. The worst part, she brought Liam. Yes, that Liam, the boy who had dumped me over text and said he didn't want to date someone whose whole life is online. She thought getting us back together on camera would be a powerful arc. "It'll show growth," she whispered, adjusting my hair behind my ear while the camera filmed from across the room. He reached out again, probably regretting it. "Smile, sweetie." He wasn't smiling. Neither was I. I walked out mid-shoot, went upstairs, and locked myself in the bathroom. My chest was tight. My hands were trembling. I stared at myself in the mirror and wondered how much of me was still mine. She didn't come after me, but she kept filming. She told her audience I was emotional, that teens go through phases, and that she was giving me space. I had opened YouTube later that night, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I needed to see what version of me she had uploaded. There I was, crying at my party, dramatic music, B-roll of the cake, the gifts, Liam's awkward hug. Her voiceover. Being a mom to a teen isn't easy, but I'm here for her through every breakdown. It was titled, "My Teen Daughter Shipped Down Her Birthday, and Here's Why." Over 1.2 million views in 48 hours. The comments were brutal. "She's ungrateful. Imagine crying over that party. She's acting like a spoiled brat. This girl needs a reality check." I felt like I was screaming underwater, drowning in everyone's opinions. And the one person who could pull me out, my mom, was the one holding my head down. I decided to confront her. For real this time. She was in the kitchen, editing footage on her laptop, humming like nothing had happened. "Take it down," I said. She didn't look up. "Take what down?" "You know what? The video. It's humiliating." That was a private moment. She gave a tight smile. "Sweetie, it's not that serious. People love realness. This is what made our channel big." "Our channel?" I snapped. "This is your obsession. I didn't choose any of this. I hate this life." That stopped her. She looked up slowly, and for the first time in a long time, I saw something cold flicker in her eyes, like a businesswoman about to lose an asset. "You have no idea what it's like to keep a roof over our heads," she said quietly. "You think this all happens magically? No. I made this life for us. For you." "No," I said, backing away. "You made it for your followers, not for me." She stood. "Well, as long as you live under this roof, you'll do your part. Now go upstairs and wash your face. We're filming a brand deal tonight." That night, I cried myself to sleep, not quietly. Loud, ugly crying into my pillow, not for the camera, but because I felt powerless. And just like always, she filmed it. By the time I was 15, my name was trending, and not in the way you'd hope. A drama channel made a video titled, "Is Ella Beer Being Abused by Her Mom?" It had nearly 3 million views in the first week. They clipped together footage, me crying, flinching, zoning out while Mom laughed and danced next to me. They showed screenshots of me staring blankly while she pushed a happy Ella narrative. And suddenly, people were on my side, but not for the right reasons. They weren't listening. They were speculating, reacting, exploiting me again, this time under the pretense of outrage. Mom made a video response, of course, sat on the couch in soft lighting with tissues in her lap. As a mother, this has broken my heart. I've only ever wanted to give Ella the best. We've had her ups and downs like any family, but these accusations, she sniffled on cue. Ella knows how much I love her. Except I didn't. Not anymore. And the worst part, that defense video made her more popular than ever. Her subscriber count jumped by nearly 100K. Sponsors praised her authentic vulnerability. I felt sick. I stopped going to school altogether. I enrolled in online classes just to avoid the whispers and screenshots. But even behind a screen, I couldn't escape. My face was everywhere. On TikToks, memes, and then the now edits. People posted my childhood clips side by side with my current photos, asking what happened to her. She happened. I was becoming a symbol of something I didn't consent to, and no one actually asked me what I wanted. One night, I finally reached out to Dad again. I hadn't seen him in months. Dad, I texted, I need out. I mean it. He called immediately. Ella, are you safe? I hesitated. Not really. He exhaled sharply. I've been waiting for this. Within days, he contacted a lawyer. We built a case, slowly, quietly. Screenshots, timestamps, contracts she never showed me. Videos where I cried, begged her to stop, and she kept rolling. Mom noticed the shift. She sensed I was pulling away. She got clingier, more controlling. She started filming more aggressively, claiming we were launching a rebrand. A mental health journey. You'll help so many girls by sharing what you've gone through, she insisted, pulling me in a frame during a live stream. I stared deadpan into the camera. I didn't agree to this, I said. The stream cut off. She screamed after turning it off. What is wrong with you? You owe me everything. I gave you this life. I looked her straight in the eyes. You sold my life, and I want it back. That night, I packed a bag while she slept. I tucked it in the closet. I waited. The day I left was quiet, not dramatic, not filmed, not lit with ring lights, just quiet. I waited until dawn when the house was still asleep and the sun hadn't crept in yet. I moved slowly, stuffing my charger, hoodie, toothbrush into a duffel bag, the same one Mom used for travel vlogs. I slipped a folded piece of paper under her bedroom door. I didn't write goodbye. I wrote one sentence. You can't film someone who isn't there. Then I walked out. I met Dad at the corner gas station. His car was already running, engine humming. He opened the door without a word and hugged me before I even got inside. That hug felt like exhaling after years of holding my breath. We didn't talk much during the drive. I watched the trees blur by, head resting against the cold window. I remember him glancing over and quietly saying, "You're safe now." It was the first time I believed it. I moved in with him officially 2 weeks later. The lawyer filed an emergency custody modification based on emotional exploitation and lack of consent. We presented evidence, not just screenshots, but video clips, financial records, timestamps, testimonies. Mom tried to fight it publicly. She posted emotional updates, hinted I'd been brainwashed by my dad, claimed I was going through a rebellious phase. But it didn't work this time. People started turning on her. Old fans dug up uncomfortable clips, moments where I was clearly uncomfortable, asking her to stop, flinching when she came near me with the camera. The relatable mom image cracked open. Then came the sponsors, quietly pulling out. Then the channel, demonetized. She went quiet online, for the first time in years. And I tried to learn how to live without being watched. It was harder than I thought. I kept checking over my shoulder, expecting a lens. I struggled to cry even when I wanted to. I didn't know how to just be because I'd never really done it. One night, Dad walked into the kitchen and found me sitting at the table in the dark, staring at a cereal box. I jumped. He didn't say anything, just sat down across from me and handed me a glass of water. "I'm not used to this," I said. "Used to what?" "Privacy." He nodded. "It'll come. Slowly." Therapy helped. Not magically, but enough. Enough to start unpacking the mess that had been my childhood. Enough to understand that love doesn't mean ownership, that being seen isn't the same as being known. And for the first time, I wasn't Ella Beer. I was Ella Marie Hastings. Just Ella. Not a thumbnail. Not a story arc. Not a brand. Just me. Even after I left, I wasn't truly free. My face still lived online. Still did my voice, my laugh, my childhood secrets. All it took was one Google search. Ella Beer meltdown. Ella Beer fights mom. Ella Beer gets period on camera. And everything I wanted to forget was waiting. I deleted social media, changed my email, asked friends not to tag me, but the content was already archived, reuploaded, remixed. Every time I applied for a job, I panicked. Would they recognize me? Would they think I was a joke? One time, a manager at a bookstore glanced at my resume and asked, "Are you the Ella Beer kid?" I froze. He laughed. "My sister was obsessed with you. The hamster funeral vlog? Classic." I didn't get the job. Another time at community college orientation, I met a girl named Riley. She was kind, funny. Sat with me in the cafeteria, helped me find my classes. Then she asked carefully, "Wait, were you ever on YouTube?" I didn't answer. She looked guilty. "Sorry. I thought maybe it was you. You just seemed familiar." I excused myself to the bathroom and cried in the stall. I wasn't trying to hide, I was trying to heal. But how do you heal from something that's immortalized, indexed, and monetized forever? Even therapy had its limits. I could process the trauma, but I couldn't erase it. At night, I'd lie awake and remember things I never chose to share. My first panic attack, filmed. My failed audition, uploaded. My period stain, posted as real girl moment. My mom reading my diary aloud for a funny reaction video. People thought they knew me, but they didn't. They knew her version of me, edited, filtered, emotionally exposed. I thought about suing her. I talked to a lawyer, but the legal system was murky. In most states, parents can film their kids. Consent laws are vague. Privacy laws even worse. I learned that in America, your childhood can be turned into content, and no one will stop it. And so instead of revenge, I chose something scarier. Telling my own story. It started small. A blog under a fake name, then a Medium post that went viral. I didn't name her. I didn't have to. The truth had fingerprints. Then a podcast reached out, then a journalist, then a nonprofit. And for the first time, I spoke on my own terms. No edits, no thumbnails, no background music. I said the things no one wanted to hear. That love isn't exposure. That real moments aren't real if they're staged. That children deserve privacy, even from their parents. And that views aren't worth your soul. The internet still doesn't forget, but maybe now it remembers something better. She reached out on my 18th birthday. Not with flowers, not with an apology, but with a DM. "Happy birthday. I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry things ended the way they did. Would love to reconnect, maybe even do a video. My audience misses you." My hands trembled reading it, not with sadness, with rage. She still didn't get it. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I was no longer part of her story. I was writing my own. I moved out a few months later and got a job at a local youth center, helping other kids who were dealing with digital trauma, bullying, and toxic families. I shared my story on panels and in classrooms. I got messages from other teens. "Your article saved me. My mom stopped filming after I showed her your podcast. I thought I was alone." I wasn't. There were thousands of us. Children turned content, kids whose pain had become parental profit. And slowly, laws started to change. Platforms began enforcing age consent policies. Some states passed bills protecting minors from unconsented monetization. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. One day, I found myself standing outside her house. I don't even know why I went. Closure, curiosity. It looked the same. The wreath on the door, the porch light, even the old chalkboard sign that used to say, "Smile, you're on camera," was still there. I didn't knock. I just stood there, breathing, watching the curtains shift as someone peeked through. She didn't open the door. I left a note in the mailbox. No anger, no theatrics, just the truth. "You made me visible, but you never saw me." Then I turned around and walked away. And with every step, I felt lighter. Because closure isn't something someone gives you. It's something you claim. She still posts occasionally, mom wellness content now, mostly about healing and change. I don't follow. I don't watch. But sometimes, when I'm scrolling late at night and see a family vlog pop up on my feed, I stop. I look at the kid in the thumbnail, and I hope fiercely, silently, that they're okay. That someone will see them, really see them, before it's too late.